styrofoam plates were like the worst possible type of styrofoam.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's like the great value of all great values.
Why?
That's just what happened.
Like-
I don't know. I wasn't in
Like
charge.
dollar store foam plates that don't really, like, you need two of them because it's
You
not
need two of
the
them.
foam is not foaming.
That's exactly the caliber I'm talking about.
Pero why? Oh no. See, now that
Yeah.
I will not show up for. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I go to that party one time. Next year I'm not coming.
Aim in the bush. I got a bam in the bush. I'm the that God gonna provide for me. That's why I stand on the book.
Hey there, friends, and welcome to Becoming a Boss, where we take some time each week to talk with someone who is wrestling with a specific situation at work. I'm your host, Megan, and today we finally got Wallis back in the house.
Hello. Be back.
We are going to talk about today a problem you might not even know you have. 'Tis the season for office holiday parties, and we
Whoa.
to give you
Whoa.
hopefully some helpful tips and tricks to navigate the season successfully.
Yes.
What do you think is the absolute worst thing that you can do, like at the office holiday
Okay.
party?
I think I have a couple of things that could be tied for top worst, but
Okay.
I'm just going to go out and say, I think the worst thing you could do is drink too much.
Oh, that was what I had. We are so in tune. Symbiote. All right.
Great minds.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Drinking too much.
I feel like typically at the office, the holiday office party, you're going to have drinks there depending on where you
Yeah.
work. But I think it's pretty typical.
Yes.
And you cannot do it. You
can't
should
do it.
probably have one drink. And that's probably it.
That's probably it. And make sure you eat, because sometimes even that one drink, I mean, if you're like me, one drink can sometimes do it. So you got to eat. Make sure you eat before you get there.
Yes.
But yes, do not overdrink. Also, like, don't hit on anyone, especially if they're married.
Oh my word. Please.
This has happened.
Please don't do it.
This has happened.
That's really bad. Wait, were you the married one?
No, no. I was not the married one or
Okay.
the person doing the hitting on.
Oh.
But yes, this has happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't hit on married people at the work party, and don't drink too much at the work party. Also, don't make inappropriate jokes.
Ooh, that's on my list too. Although I think that is a good number one and number two. So don't drink too much. Don't hit on somebody, especially married people. And don't say inappropriate jokes. Yeah, I had just watch your mouth, because just because you're at the holiday office party
Yeah.
does not mean it's a party.
No. There's kitchen talk, and then there's office work party talk. And yeah, that's not it. I would avoid religion and politics.
Just like the bar.
Yes. I would avoid religion and politics at all costs. Let's not talk about work too much. Let's not talk gossip about coworkers. Let's not talk about the boss.
Yes.
For crying out loud.
You're hitting all the things. Okay. Well, here's the thing. The people who are hosting the party are not, their intention is not for you to be there talking about work. You're already talking about work all day long.
All day long.
So break free of that.
Break free of that. And what a great opportunity to get to know your coworkers without having a deadline, or without it being a meeting, or without it having to be transactional. Here's an opportunity to get to know the people you work with.
Yeah. So I would say one of the things, if you have a highly engaged team, the people on it are collaborating and they're close.
Yes.
Relationally, they have dug roots. They have been in the trenches together. They know each other's families. They know about each other's families. This is like a normal, high-functioning team. So if you don't have already a high-functioning team, the holiday party at the office would be a great opportunity for you to dig. And maybe you're not going to dig all those roots in one night, but you could begin to dig them. Or dig a little bit, or like dig a little bit further, and just kind of find out next level what is going on
Right.
with the person that you sit next to every day.
Right.
We would hope.
We would hope.
Okay.
Sometimes parties are not conducive to that, though. I love when an office party has like either a theme or a game or some opportunity built in to kind of foster conversations and foster that. Yeah, because sometimes people can tend to either just talk to the same person they always talk to, the one person they feel comfortable talking to, or if it's a party where you bring your spouse, sometimes people just hang out with their spouses and not try to hang out with the other people. So I like when a party has some kind of element, like an interactive element. So like old job I had, we used to do like a, not Secret Santa, like a white elephant type thing to where everybody gets a gift, and then you had like numbers or something. Like it was on the spot. You weren't like giving to someone. You just bought a gift. You brought a gift under a dollar amount or whatever. And then at the party, we would draw numbers or something to the order of like picking of the gift.
Exactly.
And then someone could steal your gift. I think it's a white elephant I'm describing.
You're absolutely right.
So something like that, it, whether you like it or not, like you're interacting. You end up interacting with people.
Yeah.
And even, you know, the person you don't know, but now you see that gift that they just opened and you want it. Like, you want that blanket. You're going to go. Anyway, it fosters like community camaraderie, just like you know you're joking back and forth. At this one party somebody brought a chia pet, and that was just like the funniest thing. Nobody wanted to end up with the chia pet, but that was hilarious. And then the guy that brought the chia pet, everybody was like climbing him the whole rest of the year, like, you the guy with the chia pet. Like, it was so anyway, those I like where there's an element that is conducive to camaraderie and stuff like that. Otherwise it's, I think, easy for people to stay in their shell and just talk to the same people they always talk to.
Yeah, so I agree with you, and I had that on the list of, if you are actually in charge of the party, here are some things that you could do.
Yes.
And that is one of the things. Although, do you have any other examples of, because you're right. Here's what's going to happen if you don't do anything. They're going to come, and then they're going to eat, and then they're going to leave, which is not what we recommend. We do not recommend that you dine and dash at the work party.
No, not at all.
Because you're kind of disrespecting the intentions of the leader, the party planner, the organizer. You know, you're just kind of stepping all over it.
Plus, let's be honest, the people we work with, we spend sometimes more time than with our own families. So I think it's in everybody's best interest to know the people that you work with and for them to know a little bit about you.
Right.
So that is the opportunity. So you are defeating the whole purpose if you go and either keep to yourself or just dine and dash.
And I think it also brings, when you see a person in a different context, it helps to bring perspective that you may not otherwise have received.
Correct.
And I think that's helpful sometimes, because you may be wondering why Joni is always right out the door at 5 o'clock. And you're like, well, she's a slacker. She's right out the door at 5 o'clock every single day. She never stays late. They are always offering overtime. She never takes the overtime. And then in conversation with her at the office party, you find that she actually has an elderly mother that she has to run home to take care of.
Right.
And that's why she has to leave exactly at 5 o'clock to make it in time to give her medicine. And so it's just like little things like that. You don't know. And sometimes we accidentally make these assumptions about people. And we're not trying to do it on purpose, but sometimes that happens if we don't have any other information. Our brains will fill in the gap.
Correct.
And it doesn't always fill it with the best things.
Correct. Another thing that I think it's good, I can't remember where I saw this, but there were little questions at the table where we were seated.
I love that.
Little like icebreaker questions for you to ask people. So that's really good, because people sometimes don't feel comfortable initiating conversation with someone they haven't had like personal conversation with before. So these little questions I thought were great. So having something like that where it's easy, somebody doesn't have to think about it. You don't have to feel awkward because you don't know what to say. It's already there for you, and it's, you know, harmless conversation starters.
And other little games that are kind of like that, but don't require a whole lot of effort or a whole lot of, what's the word? I don't know, competitiveness. I feel like sometimes if you get me playing a certain game, like I could end up losing friends because I'm just like, I want to win. I will push people down. Yeah. Maybe not something so heavy,
but definitely questions. I think the white elephant is like almost a no-brainer. And you said, you know, you make it budget friendly because it's not about the gift, it's about the experience and the fun. And I think that could be a lot of fun. I like that. Something that is not necessarily traditional, but I happen to love is when, and I've seen that, not a lot, but maybe a couple of times. When part of the party, or like even at the end or at the beginning, is something that involves outreach. You know, I know it's a little bit more complicated, but okay, we're gonna write cards for
Yes, the elderly home down the street.
We're gonna write cards for teachers, for whatever.
First responders.
We're gonna wrap presents for whatever. You know, things like that get people together, and that you're working together with someone, and it's cute. Packing things is great. I know we just did that at church, and I know that may not be feasible for everyone, but they just did that at church, where after, I think it was Vision Night, where we had backpacks, was it? Or something? No, it was Thanksgiving, like meal kits that we were packing for people in the community. And that was so much fun. It's like, okay, and the table who finishes first is the winner. You don't get anything. You're just the winner. You get bragging rights. And that was really cool.
Yeah.
Things like that. I don't know. I like that.
That's really good.
I love that. I like when a company takes pride in having a positive impact in the community. And so I love when a holiday party can capture that.
Right. I agree with you 100%. I would not have thought about that on my own, because I
like that a lot.
Never in my life have I experienced that at a holiday party. But all right, we may not agree on this. Are you ready?
Uh-oh.
Here's another one, and I'm firm. I'm firm on it.
Oh gosh, she's firm.
You have to show up at the holiday party.
Meaning, like, you can't skip it?
You can't skip it.
Oh, I've never skipped one. I would not. I've never skipped one.
Okay.
If you're having a party, I'm going.
Not that tight. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Some of us introverts want to stay at home because we are already around people all day long.
Okay.
And so we really have had enough at that point. However, my argument is, if you are a boss, you have got to, and I'm saying if you're a boss, like if you're an actual boss, or if you're trying to be a boss or whatever, if you're a boss, you got to show up for your people. You have to show up for them.
Yes.
You're setting an example of what it.
Oh yeah, you can't not go to the party. You cannot. What example are you setting?
Yeah. And the people that are around you, they know you're an introvert probably. So they know that you don't necessarily want to be in big crowds.
But you're there.
And
that says something.
And it says something.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, show
Oh, you have to. You have to. And yeah, people may say this or that. Listen, it's a couple of hours. It's literally a couple of hours out of the thousands of hours that we have in a year. Yeah, you gotta show up. You gotta show up.
All right, so this is one that is one of my favorites. It's happened multiple times I've seen. Dress appropriately.
Oh, for everything.
There was a classic,
Come on.
I don't know what to call it. It was like an ensemble. But there was mostly skin involved in the outfit.
Oh.
And it was a holiday party.
No, we gotta read the room. Where are we going?
Yeah. I mean, it was fancy.
But was it work appropriate?
No, it was not work appropriate.
See, I think people think that, especially when the party is not at the office, the party is like either at someone's house, like sometimes it's like at the boss's house, or sometimes it's at a restaurant, or sometimes it's at whatever. And I think people think because we're not at the office, we could dress like we're going to the club, but we're not going to the club. We're still with our coworkers.
Correct. So here's what you can wear. You can wear what they said to wear.
Yes.
So if they said business cash,
yes,
then biz cash it is.
Yes.
And one probably baby tip is you probably don't want to be underdressed.
You don't want to be underdressed. And another rule of thumb is if you're questioning it, don't wear it. If you're wondering, I wonder if this is appropriate, don't wear it.
The answer is
not.
no.
It's not.
It's not.
If that thought is crossing your mind, it is likely not.
Put it back on the rack.
Put it back. Wear it with your girlfriends or wherever you wear it. Not for the, no.
Later that night even.
Later that night even, yes. Yes, that is so important.
Okay. So that's a big one. What else? So here's what we have. You have to show up. Don't drink too much. Dress appropriately. Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Don't dine and dash.
Don't dine and dash.
Because that time is set to do more than just feed you, right?
How do you feel about bringing spouses to the party? If it's, because I've seen it both ways, where it's just office people allowed, and then where you can bring your spouse. Some people get divided with this because some people feel if you bring the spouse, then we're not interacting. Then you're just going to be with your spouse. Or you're going to feel like you have to entertain the spouse.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Okay, so it depends. My answer is it depends. And here's the reason why it depends, because some companies are family integrated and some companies are not. So I'll give you an example. My husband works for the church. It is very much a family job. The people are my friends. The things that we do, we obviously go to church on Sunday. We have Bible study on Monday. It's very much a family thing. Mm-hmm. And so in that environment, it would be weird not to have spouses.
Correct. That's true.
However, in previous environments where the team was a lot bigger, hundreds of people even, it's just not that intimate of a relationship with the people that are at the office. So it's definitely not going to be intimate with the 300 people spouse. It's just going to be a mess. And although it's nice to have a nice night out, it's more a question of what is your intention? Because if all you're trying to do is feed everybody a nice meal and then have a couple of drinks and go home, then that's cool. But there's nothing that's going to really support building the relationship, which I think is really what we want to do.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. I guess I wasn't thinking about it in that large of a scale, but yeah, I can see how that can get tricky.
But we've done both.
Scale.
Actually, you know what? So Justin came to a holiday party with me when it was a really, really big environment, but my team was small at that time. I only had maybe 8 people, so we were all at the same table together.
Oh, that's nice.
So that was actually nice because he knew all the people. So he knows Ruth is da-da-da, Jasmine is da-da-da-da, and he just knew about their lives, Lori Beth, her husband, their kid, their situation, like all the things. Right. Because we were in close connection. So I think it just depends on the situation, because we've also been to a holiday party it's not like that. It's just so big you get lost in a sea of...
Yeah. Interesting. I actually haven't been to a holiday work party in many, many years, now that I think about it. So, yeah.
Are they phasing out? Do I feel like
I think they are. I feel like they are. And actually, I just saw a friend that posted about her husband's work party, and she said, I'm grateful that this company still does this. Yeah, and I know the company she works for has not done them in years. Just, I think, yeah, some companies feel like after they get to a certain size, it's like weird. It's like, what do you even do? And is it cost effective? And should we use this money? Can we use this money? And sometimes I've heard people be like, don't give me a holiday party. I want the bonus, you know? So... Yeah. But I think with the work remote stuff and just, I feel like work parties are different at the very least.
Yeah. So I also made a list of, if you're the organizer, what tips could we give? Okay. All right. And so you already gave a few, but one of the things that you just reminded me of is, so pretend it's a smaller company and you have a small team and you maybe don't have that budget to go buy the, the clubhouse at the end of the road. Well, if that's the case, it is always more intimate when you're at a person's house, like you had mentioned.
And I've done that.
So if the boss is willing to open their home, or maybe a team lead like opens their home to their small team, I think that's really great, because you can spend money on really good food.
Yes.
And then the people actually have time, and then you can facilitate the evening to be more intentional with building those relationships that we talked about.
Yes.
And I wonder if your friend that she enjoys the holiday parties, I wonder what their holiday parties are like. You have to tell me later. Like, are they intentional about, like, why does she enjoy them so much is my question.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think, like, knowing her and knowing myself, I think you enjoy going, and I think that the holiday party almost feels like a little bit of like a reward for a job well done. And I think people like that. And I know her husband is in sales. I know he travels a lot. I know he's gone a lot. I think for somebody like that, so at the end of the year, we're coming to this party. I know, like, this party is involved. They do awards. They do all the things. And they do awards, and they do recognition, and they do all that. Yeah. And it's like, it's got to be nice, especially for a wife who's shared her husband all year with this company, with this job, and he's away and he's doing this. Right. And now you're like, this is your little reward. You're at this party. You're being fed good food and drinks, and there's rewards, and there's music, and there's... And I think you feel like, this is my little share of a reward for a job well done.
Right. I like that. I've not thought about it from that perspective.
That's what it always felt like to me. Like, okay, we worked really hard all year, and we're celebrating. We're celebrating that we worked really hard together this year, and we did good.
I've never, ever thought about it like that.
Really?
Huh. For me, it's been, this is what you have to do.
Oh.
I'm kind of an introvert.
I get that.
I think that's why.
Yeah, I love I don't know. The jury's still out if I'm an introvert or not. I can't decide.
You can be both.
And I think, you can be both. And I think it's also could be circumstantial because I know that I can be in a group of people where I will not say anything or feel like, but then I'm with a group of people, like, I can't stop. I mean, when I'm with you, I can't stop talking.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you're talking to the world right now.
oh gosh. So, I don't know. I don't know.
So I can be both. Here's why I know. And I think I'm leaning a little even more toward introvert as I get older because I'm recognizing what fills me up and when I need to recharge. And if I'm out of gas and you're like, Megan, what? Like, girl, you need to get it together. What do I think about I need to do? I need to be by myself. That's what I think about.
Got it. Okay.
I need to be by myself with my books or music on a walk. But I need to but you wouldn't guess that because when I'm around people, I have no problem talking to people. Right. It's not a problem for me. It's just, I don't know. I always feel like
it can certainly be draining, especially when you're like just having transactional conversation.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what I was trying to put my finger on. Because if we're having a conversation and we're actually solving problems or moving forward or just, I don't know, having intentional conversations, it just means so much more to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
If we're just like complaining about what the weather did, like,
I can see that. And that is why those little questions at the table or wherever are really helpful. And because that can
break those barriers.
And initiate something that's not necessarily transactional, even though it may start like that. And it may just be like that. There's somebody you may approach with a question trying to have a whole conversation and they're like not having it. And that's okay. But yeah, no, I think the holiday party, I don't know. It always felt like an opportunity for me to dress cute and see people in a different light. I mean, shoot, we used to drive from Florida for the volunteer holiday party. A whole 9 hours just to see the people. And I don't know. I'm about the holiday party.
Yeah.
I am about the holiday party.
Interesting. Okay. One more thing. If we are trying to help the organizer.
Oh, yes. Okay. Here, I will say this about the organizer. Okay. Because on the flip side, we're telling people not to drink too much. Yeah. I would say that the organizer, it is okay to have a limit.
Oh,
it is okay to have a limit. You need to have a limit because some people can't have a limit. We got to help people help themselves. Yeah. So it is okay to have a limit about the alcohol.
I don't even think it's okay. I think it's
necessary.
I think so.
It's necessary.
I think you should put your foot
down.
The
danger comes when there isn't. So not everybody can. You would think people can handle it. Not everybody can, unfortunately.
No, I've seen that go wrong so many times.
Yes. You know, there's a world cruise right now going on and it's 9 months. And I heard this lady make this joke of like, it's all drinks included, all of the drinks. You can have all of the drinks that you want all day, every day for 9 months. And she was saying, she brought up a really good point that there are people that may not know. Megan is like, you should see Megan's face right now. And she's like, no way. And yeah, think about that. So she's like, there are people that may not even know that this could lead them down a path they don't want to go down, but they don't know because they've never had an open bar for 9 months. Yeah, that's happening right now. They set sail December 6th, returning September of 2024. They're going to 66 countries. I am following, let's just say I'm following this cruise. I don't want to get us off track here, but I am following the journey very, very closely because I am fascinated. And people are doing it with their whole families. There are people on this boat homeschooling and working full time because you have all the internet. There are people homeschooling. The cruise line took a survey.
I can't.
Yeah, it's insane. There are people doing it with their husbands, people doing it with their parents, people doing it as like sister. And tell me that's not going to be interesting. Being trapped in this vessel for 9 months.
Yeah, sister.
With an open bar.
No.
With the open bar.
I just don't.
So anyway,
they're going to run out of liquor.
Not everybody can have an open bar is the point.
Okay, that's the end of the story is strongly suggested 2-drink requirement.
Yeah, 2-drink maximum. 2-drink maximum.
I would say.
Yes.
Because I mean, what are we trying to do here? What are we trying to accomplish?
Right.
All right. I had a note to provide an elegant setting, depending on your company, if possible. We already talked about if you don't have that type of budget, you could possibly have somebody open their home. But I have been at dinner where some of my colleagues had never had dinner with a cloth napkin before. We're not all from the same place.
Right. We're not.
And if you can, and you're in a company that can afford that, then provide a nice dinner.
Now, let me ask you this. Since you said about that.
Good food.
Do you think it makes the person that's never had dinner with a cloth napkin uncomfortable in a way because they feel could it be too fancy for someone not used to that? Could they feel like fish out of water, like, oh, this is too elegant for me type thing?
I think it depends the gap. I think it does depend the gap.
Yeah, you got to read the crowd, I think.
Right. You got to know your people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So elegant dinner, and I'm saying elegant dinner, but that can be taken a lot of different ways. If you have a whole bunch of food on display that I've never seen before, I'm going to be uncomfortable too, right? And I'm sure that that's very possible. So I think it depends. However, in this particular scenario, it was not so far-fetched because a lot of the people were on their way up. They had cloth napkins in their future.
Okay.
It was like, this is, you know what I mean? It was just like that interim.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I think the goal should be to make it as nice as you possibly can. It should be special for me.
Special.
This
That's
is
the thing.
special.
Right.
As special as you can. And if as special as you can is, you know, barbecue on plates from Sam's, that's cool because it's as special as you can do it. And I'm saying that I've worked for very small companies and for very big companies.
Right.
And so I've seen like both. And as long as you make it as nice as you can make it, I want it to feel special. I don't want it to feel like, I want it to feel special. Otherwise, I don't really see the point. It's got to be special.
Right. Well, here's the thing. So yeah, maybe it's not about the napkin. Okay, first of all, the food has to be good. Can we say that?
It has to be good.
The
It has
food
to.
has to be good.
Yeah. And again, that will vary. Like, I'm not necessarily, I mean, I've had dinners where it's like, you know, lobster and crab claws and stuff like that, which I adore, but that's not for everybody. And not everybody can afford that.
Right.
And then I've had it where it's just been, you know, barbecue or even like pizza and salad. But it's nice. And there's like a fabulous dessert table or something. Like, I don't know. You can make it nice. Just make it nice.
Make it nice.
Make it nice.
I guess that's what I'm saying because I was a little jaded because a company that had plenty of money to go around. But then the party was on, I'm saying styrofoam plates, and it's not doing it justice because the styrofoam plates were like the worst possible type of styrofoam.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's like the great value of all great values.
Why?
That's just what happened.
Like-
I don't know. I wasn't in
Like
charge.
dollar store foam plates that don't really, like, you need two of them because it's
You
not
need two of
the
them.
foam is not foaming.
That's exactly the caliber I'm talking about.
Why? Pero why?
I don't know. I wasn't in charge.
Oh no. See, now that I will not show up for. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I go to that party one time. Next year I'm not coming.
And
I'm sorry,
and
I'm
you know
not
what?
coming.
And that would be valid.
I'm not showing up.
Okay.
The no-show rule is gonna be null and void if there's styrofoam plates that I need to double up. No. Styrofoam is one thing. I need to double them up. You lost me.
I'm just saying, like, why even do
No,
it? If you
no.
can't do it, then don't
Now,
do
if
it.
it's a picnic at the park and we're playing ball or something, but the holiday party and I dress cute and I got a babysitter or whatever, no.
Say it again.
Not doing it. Sorry. What was the point of that?
Yeah, that's my question.
Was there like a big bonus handed at the door? Like, did we see where the money went if we ate
don't
these
know.
plates?
We don't know. We
See,
don't.
now that to me is borderline insulting. Because if you know, again, if it's like a small
Yeah.
company and you don't have money, I'm not going to judge you because
Right.
guess what? If you're a small company and you don't have a big budget and you still want to do a little holiday party for us to get together, I respect that and I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring some plates if we need to. Like, that's cool. I'm good with that.
Let's do a potluck.
That's okay. If you're really cool with the people you work with, I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah.
But if we know that you have a big budget and you're giving me foam plates, I'm going to feel not appreciated.
Right. And so that's what I'm saying. Like you were saying earlier, it has to be nice because you're trying to make them feel appreciated.
Yes.
So if you show up and you're getting the double punk, what are we going to call this? Double foam. It just doesn't feel right.
No, I could have stayed home for this. I didn't need to
Yeah.
put on this dress and curl my hair.
There's more.
And leave my kids with a babysitter.
And the food was bad.
No. No, it's not. No.
Okay.
No, because now you're costing me money. Sometimes people have to pay a babysitter. Babysitters aren't,
Sometimes.
unless you have like a built-in one. Like babysitters aren't free. Like, if you're not leaving the kids with like your mom or something, and you have to pay for that.
Yeah.
And if you paid for an Uber to get there or something, don't get
Stop with the Uber.
It's not good. Now you're costing me money.
You better have,
Now I'm gonna be mad.
If that's the case, then lift the 2-drink rule.
Yeah, I'm gonna be mad. Exactly. Yeah, no, it's just, I don't
Okay.
know. I don't like the intention behind that.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right. All right, so I think that's a wrap. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add? So I feel like we went over the do's and don'ts.
Just, yeah. It needs to be fun. It needs to be entertaining. There should be some form of entertainment. Either it's music, either we're going to play a game, or there's something.
I like the game idea, and the reason why is because, not that it even has to be a white elephant, because if you don't have the money, I mean, that's, $5, $10, $15, whatever. But I'm saying, if I want to have the engagement of the people.
Yes.
That's the whole goal. So celebrate what we've done for the year, and then also to build on the relational equity that we have already built.
Correct.
So if you're not doing that, then
Right.
we should all just go home, right?
Right. There's no point. I could stay home.
I'm so harsh. I need to be nicer. Okay. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Hey, what a timely message that we got, right?
Yes.
Holiday office party right in time.
Yeah, because that's going to be happening, like right now.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
Perfect timing. Thank you all for listening. Hope that helped you. Do you want to be part of the show? You can call us, text us, 864-619-1683 to share your story, and we will get into it about what the leader should have done differently. And also, who are you thinking about during this episode? Hit that button and share it with a friend of yours so that you can have one more thing to talk about this week. And another thing, we want to hear from you about your own holiday office party woes.
Yes. Please.
So type it in the YouTube comments if you had a really good experience with your holiday office party, or a really
bad one. I'm almost more curious about those. No, but really, I want to know all of it.
Tell us everything.
Yes.
And listen, friend, we know it's not easy, but remember that whatever it is you're walking through, you're not alone. And together we can make the world a better place to work. Thanks for listening, team. Take care and see you next week.
Go! Aim in the bush. I got a ram in the bush. I'm the that God gon' provide for me. That's why I stand on the book.